was yeah, a little exhausted, lot of technical difficulties, but hey, here we are. So this is a post-show podcast. We're trying to keep it as brief as possible. We might not be running through every single little tiny thing, just for the simple fact that that's time is of the essence and whatever. But so let's start off with, I guess, in reverse, the main event. The main event. You guys were in the main event. It was palpable. It was the whole Cassidy Hayes thing. From my point of view, essentially what happened was I said, you guys, Cass asked me when he won, and I said, go away, Cass. And then I think Jake or Nate brought it up, and I said, you guys figure it out, and you just send me the match when it's done. So apparently what happened is that you guys agreed to this son of a bitch, and here we are. So any idea why you guys agreed to that? Anything?
Well, it is his right as the winner of the future investment ladder match to cash in. I did have the ironclad contract, but he did go back and look at the RP and say, "Well, you didn't say anywhere here." Or that. And so I was like, "All right, you know what? That's cool. It'll be a good pop, or for better or for worse."
I don't know. No, that's a good pop.
And then he played it up in the chat like throughout the entire in the Discord throughout the entire like week leading up to Lucian. And people are like, oh, he's talking about it too much. He's not going to win. And then he won. And then he's like, oh, shit, he's future investment. Oh, but he's not going to. And then he did it. So the Cass factor, I wasn't too worried about it. He won the future investment ladder match. It's his right to do it. So he found a loophole. Fuck that guy.
Yep. Pretty much what Cass said or what Court just said. It was just, he won. So it's his right to do that. And I'm not going to. Like big time on me say no. If there's any time for us to big time, that would have been the time. But I don't think me or Courts are the type of people that are going to do something like that. So it just was what it was.
That's why I appreciate.
Well, and I'll say as well that the only reason I mean I definitely would have big timed him in another situation. Like, if anybody else had won it, it wouldn't have worked. Storyline-wise, if you go back and watch since the start of Season 16, that stupid motherfucker's been involved in a lot of Nate Ortiz / Court stories. He had the whole thing when he first turned babyface attacking Nate Ortiz in the handicap match with H2O. He was in his face and RPs around that. And then my whole feud with AC Cobra, he was around it. He was the replacement tag team partner for KD. He ran in to save AC Cobra at the end of the Road to Glory match. Like, he was around it the whole time. And for him to accidentally win the future investment match, it was just a case where, like, well, this is too perfect. Like, the story has accidentally written itself into a perfect situation, so we have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love the fact that Rust is so passionate and so upset. He is so upset.
Good. Fuck him.
And you know what? He was like, oh, Cassidy's going to take a pin. I tell you, Cassidy's going to take a pin. And then when fucking you got hit with the cessation, everyone got so upset and freaked out. He's gonna fucking steal it. He's gonna fucking.
I did too. I did too. When it happened to me in the match and Nate was outside, I was talking out loud. I said, well, this is it. He fucking stole it again. He did it. I'm not really good at kicking out, admittedly. I happened to do it on this night, and the things lined up perfectly as they did, which I'm sure you had plenty to say about, Jay.
Oh my god, that was. Hey, Nate wasn't pinned. What are you gonna do? I don't care. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm not a hardcore fan like Rust, I guess. I don't know. As the booger, I was like, hey, that makes sense to me. What the fuck? It's just I didn't get the match I wanted, but lol, there's always next year. I don't know. Just have this match was supposed to happen to begin with. We weren't supposed to have Nate versus Quartz, and it just kind of worked out that way. So we'll see what the hell happens down the road. Let's go back to the front because we got to be quick. But the future investment, speaking of, that was a lot of fun. That's really all I have to say to it. It was fun. It was well executed. The whole one shot about one gets finished and then you guys can climb. That was really well done. Everybody got some shine in. At one point, we thought AC Cobra was gonna have it, much to the dismay of mad people. And then Harvey, being Harvey, screwed that up, and here we are with Cass. So if you want to play the blame game, you can blame H2O for the fact of Cassidy Hayes ruining Wrestlution 15 main event. So maybe Russ can go after and kill and murder Harvey. Anybody has anything to add about that?
Yep, you're Harvey.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's all his fault
for sure. It is.
Cass tried to say in the chat, in the viewing party, that if he didn't take AC Cobra down, then AC Cobra would have just won. And I immediately countered with, yeah, everybody likes AC Cobra more than Cassidy Hayes. So I stand by that.
Number 2, we'll talk quickly. My match. So I don't know what I'm doing. That was my first match on TV since 2018. I'm gonna say. So that was my first match back. Me and Spider, found each other and we fought. And Spider asked me last year about it during COVID. I was like, fine. And of course, Spider being Spider, it's 10-year history. So with that match, didn't know what I was doing, but didn't want to break FPR. And apparently I broke it twice really bad. But hey, it's my place.
Twice,
I do what I want.
Still very funny.
I mean, I got my receipt. I took 2
You're
Colossus.
lucky it's you. Because anybody else would be ordering right now.
Yeah.
For when you broke FPR too. That was the thing.
Yeah, and it was just the type of, I told you after we called the match, like, you broke FPR so many times, especially the 2 crapples after the reverse stunners. That's why the pops from Drago and I were so hard, is because you crappled him once after the stunner, and then he reversed you and tried to get it again, and you crappled him again, and we just lost our minds because you ran him down on reversals and completely disregarded FPR. But due to the nature of the match, and like you said, how it played out, the whole story, like Spider told you, it was fine. It really wasn't a big deal. It was just a fun match to watch, and that's what you want on Lucian. So don't take it too seriously.
Nah, he didn't even bring it up when we were
It's
fighting.
Spider and Jay.
It was hilarious.
Like, come on.
That moonsault got a real big pop. I love the moonsault. That moonsault made my fucking day. Anything to add, Nate? Or...
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, it had everything you wanted. It had moments where we're like, oh, you're gonna lose now. Like, Spider's gonna get him, but then, oh, you kicked out. It had everything you'd want, and it definitely kept the momentum going from the latter match to the second match.
Yeah,
kept the show going smooth.
That was the idea behind it. So moving on to the number 3, the Pride triple threat. I dug it a lot, man. Everybody got their shit in. At one point, Court was going ham sandwiches, and then one point Nate Mack was going ham sandwiches, and then fucking Rusty being Rusty. Like, that was one of the best performance / matches I've seen out of Russ. Is a bad motherfucker. Probably the biggest fan next to KD. Vocal, definitely. He's a vocal mark, but that was a really good fucking match. He was fucking everybody up, son. It's crazy. Jake, you alluded to some kind of weird FPR thing that happened, so Mac wound up pinning Russ because of it or something like that. But what did you think about that? What was it?
No, he didn't pin. I mean, that situation where he pinned, he kind of panicked, right? So the double down happens, and at that point, he has the decision of who he wants to go after. If he goes after Russ Cole, who was the only valid target at the time, then he could just go for his finisher, and if he hits it, he's got the match, basically. But he had a brain fart. He picked up the wrong guy and still hit the fin on him. He's a pro, so he didn't go through the 3 count. Unfortunately, he hit the D-pad in the wrong direction. If you hit left or right, you'll just kind of let him up like he did, and it looks awkward. If you hit up or down, you'll have like a kick out animation. He just hit the wrong side on the D-pad, and it looked a little awkward. And then he went to pin Russ Cole again. So that awkward moment aside, when I watched it the first time, I know you and I were talking about the length of it. It did not feel long on second watch.
It didn't.
Because it was so competitive. And every moment that you were like, oh, it's over now, there was a legitimate competitive reason as to why it didn't end there. So that's why I was more okay with the length of it. It was very competitive, very fun.
This is dope. Theo, thoughts?
Yeah, just for it being as long as it was, the fact that it didn't feel like a long match, that tells you that it was like a good one, and it was competitive because you didn't know who was going to win. And it wasn't like, oh, they're dragging it out, they're not going for the finish. They were going for the finish the whole time.
Yeah, that's
all you can ask for.
That's what I noticed. So speaking of Mac has like 19 promos on this show, and I think that's because people were not communicating. But the first one obviously is good. Appreciate it. He's like, I'm gonna get you. What do you call him? French ding-a-ling or French dingy-ding? What the fuck was it? The first one, he called him French something that had me howling.
Well, he's been calling him. He's been saying "ding ding Frenchie" since the Riot promo, which has been the thing. But
ding ding.
I didn't see anything other than that.
I thought he said something else, but yeah. So that got a good reaction out of me. So I wanted to bring up the Mac promos, just so we don't skip them. So before that, the second promo though, we have it looks like a return to OCW after roughly, I think what is it? You said 11 years, 6 months, and 20.
Yeah, 11 years, 6 months, and 14 days. Dane
Wow.
Xavier.
Yeah, so Dane is back. And funny story. So everyone's been going crazy about, and I'll diverge there. Everyone's been going crazy about the After Effects, this, that, and third, the motion graphics. That was a combination of Cass's assets, my first, what the hell's it called? I don't know, whatever. Basically, it was Cass, Kent, me, and Dane. But Dane did the heavy lifting with the actual After Effects. I sat him down. I was like, bro, you know After Effects, so this is what I need. We went through it piece by piece. And then he provided what I needed, but then I didn't have any time to get everything else together. So, we worked something out, and basically, he put it together, and he did a phenomenal fucking job. So if everyone's been saying, oh, that's amazing. And in my head, I just keep putting teamwork, because I'm not going to take credit for shit that I didn't do. It was a joint effort, but he did a bulk of the heavy lifting in regards to that. And he fucking knocked it out of the goddamn park. Shit was beautiful. The motherfucker's been bugging me all week for that. So thank you, Dan Xavier, for the help with that. But again, teamwork makes the dream work. Dan Xavier comes back, and he immediately has his thought punch Court in the face with a fucking rang. So I guess we're gonna see Dan Xavier facing off against Court, and I think that is a wonderful combination because Court is a wrestling guy. So if anybody can fucking put on a good wrestling match, it's Court Marshall. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how that match plays out, and I'm probably gonna book that on Consequence when I come out of my stupor. Anybody else want to add anything about the post Diamond Rough reveal thing? Jake, anything?
Dillinger Enterprises continues to grow, baby. If you read the shows, you knew there was more in the works than El Parca, and I hope the swerve was fun for everyone.
So this is gonna be like Jet 2.0. Now you got two people instead of one guy. So we'll see what happens.
Please.
No?
Let me stop you there. Comparing Brian and Dane Xavier to Jet Draven is an embarrassment. So stay tuned. We may have more in the works for you.
I mean,
I was just about to say that this go around is gonna be much better than that first experiment.
yeah, Ken was already tired of.
Yeah,
Ken's like, he's all over the show. Who?
it's already better. It's already better than that thing was. So,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too. It's gonna be interesting. And since Dane is dual console, but he's starting with the Xbox feud, it makes me even happier because everyone likes to talk shit about Xbox. Anyway, moving on, we have we have like the post match promo that I just want to talk about with Mac with the chili powder in my eyes, you French dingaling. Fucking
Funny.
French chili powder. I don't even know. We need a French chili powder shirt. So shout out to Nate Mac. The Terra Wrestlution hype video, always as expected, amazing. So I don't know, it's fucking great. I love that stupid song. I've been listening to that song all week. Well, actually, I've been listening to that song since Riot. So good on you for that. Which takes us to the match, Terra versus Valkyrie. This is a good old fashioned storied battle. Wrestling 101. Don't have anything bad to say about it. It kind of played out like, wrestling should. 1-1, and then Valkyrie's triumphant. And I also like the fact that people from Twitter came to defend Valkyrie and shit on Terra, which was amazing, by the way. That was the best thing ever. That made that match even more fun to me watching it. Straight up wrestling match, good shit. Val got the W, then Val gets fucking crippled and wheeled out of this bitch. So I guess that's the last we see of Val for a hot minute. Everybody retires a Wrestlution, so go figure. Nate, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just like the whole thing. It just kept like last year's show where it was just a solid progression. This one was the same. It just kept the ball rolling, and I loved the segment at the end because I was like, I wanted Terra to keep the heat because Terra's been kind of on a tear this year, and it's like I want to see what she does next, whether it's go for the title or whatever the next storyline is there. I enjoyed it all.
Well, she's a loser. She ain't going for no title. Jake, thoughts on your own match?
Yeah, I mean, this has probably taken the cake in terms of my favorite from start to finish story that we've told. It started at Chill Factor with the Mist, with Terra returning. She was a face at the time. Remember, she was fighting Marissa, and she was a baby face at the time. And then coming out to Valk and the swerve with the Mist. And then to build all the way through, we had the tag match where it was mental games, and we had a physicality, a clash. And then after that, Valkyrie was still happy and smiling, so it broke Terra, and she was even turning on Ashley and distancing herself from that, and then the evolution with the entrance. She's now a new, like you said it, nature's favorite nightmare. That's like the newest evolution of the gimmick. The whole purpose of the match, like we were never going to lock up. Like that was never going to be the case. They said it from the beginning. This was going to be like, we're trying to kill each other. And I think we did that. I think it benefited a lot from your card placement. We came off a very long Pride title match, and this was very succinct. It was very action-packed and fast-paced, and like they just wanted to kill each other. And the ending, the fact that we're comp and this can happen is bananas. But
I love it.
Like it started with the mist, and then I actually tried to hit the mist, and Valkyrie dodged it, and then hit me with a series of moves, finned me, boom, Hero stands tall at the end. That's fucking Lucian. But yeah, like Nate said, the whole purpose of the match was for somebody to be done, to be taken down, and Tara, being the person that she is, was the one that did that. Ashley trying to put an end to things and saying, yeah, that's enough. I don't think so. Dropped her on her head as well. So
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm very exhausted from everything right now. So I haven't even thought about what's next, but just stay tuned.
Good. That's why we have a nice chunky 2-week break. So we go with I wanted to talk about this specifically because, you know, the fucking Mantis Pride post promo.
Oh my god.
So couple things. When you show up only when you're doing something that annoys me, that's like a personal thing. So don't do that. Number 2, this is his first video, so congratulations. Number 3, never have I ever seen such highs to such lows. Oh, I maybe Gooch recorded it. I don't know. I'm sure somebody did, but everyone assumed we were gonna get Hyper Mantis Red finally and get this like huge pop, and we did not get it as a collective fan base. And the utter disgust was, if you want to heel heat, I guess that's how you get the heel heat. A lot of people were pissed off. I didn't even think about it because I know, you know, I'm like, he's fucking dingleberry, so whatever. But the fact that everybody assumed we were gonna get Hyper Mantis, even you, and it didn't happen, that shit. This would be the time to get that nuclear fucking cheer from everybody in the Discord and on whatever, and it didn't happen. So
that's why this doesn't make any sense. Because they're not heels. Blacksmith has been a face throughout his entire feud with Solomon Kane, or at least like he teeters, but he leaned there because Solomon Kane is the shitbag that he is.
He's a shitbag.
But like it just had to be on purpose. Like Mantis at this point is doing things on purpose to go against what everybody wants him to do. He could have just had his entrance and it wouldn't have been as bad, but he came out with the entrance with the little ball, and in 2K, and we've had this game for 3 years now, everybody knows what that entrance looks like. Like when you throw it on the ground and it blows up the big green smoke, and then whatever comes out. I'm like, oh my god, this is genius. I didn't even think of this. The big green smoke, and then the smoke dissipates and it's Hyper Mantis Red. That you see, so smart. I was about to give him all the credit in the world for building and building and building and building, like keeping us waiting and not doing it. And then on Lucian, the biggest stage, boom, the big reveal. You're right, would have been a nuclear pop. And if he's a heel, yeah, not doing it would have been nuclear heat, but he's not a heel. And this is just another clear example of completely being tone deaf in every way, shape, and form. They have put their intentions out there, and they have been building this friendship between Blacksmith and Mantis, and I don't dislike that as at its base, but to give us that ball entrance specifically and know what everyone wants to see, and specifically tell them to fuck themselves and go the opposite direction is like, it had to be intentional. There's no way it was not intentional. And for them to think like we weren't going to be upset after that, like I don't even give a fuck what happened after that. Iceman came out, and then maybe this ties into the woman that was outside Iceman's house, or maybe it wasn't a woman, maybe it was Iceman, I don't know, but everything after that chosen entrance, specifically with the ball of smoke, was just never ever going to get over, because he did it on purpose, and it broke my heart. It really did.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel as strong. I think the thing is, I have so much apathy that I don't get those strong responses anymore. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's old age, or maybe it's all the supplements I'm taking that keeps me the fuck calm. But yeah, man, I knew it wasn't gonna happen, so I was like, what are you gonna do? But yeah. So
it was Xbox Heat for sure.
Yeah, it was Xbox Heat. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not cheering you now, either of you. Fuck that.
Yeah, that would have been a great, like, even if you turn Hyper Mantis Red and then fucking beat up Nate Mack, that would have been also too. So
I would have loved it. That would have been huge. Ugh.
would have been
He's
great.
he's so stubborn. He doesn't want to do it because we want him to do it. That's literally all it is.
The funny thing
And
about
that's
that,
not going to change, so that's fine.
the funny thing about that is that segment was so ill received after the fact. Fucking Russ went on a tangent. He's like, oh, PS4. Da, da, da. His new thing is against PS4 DMs, but whatever. That match, that segment was so, I'm not gonna say bad because it wasn't bad, but that segment was so polarizing that for a good maybe 10% of the Battle for Hollywood, people were still like growling about it. Like Max had no entrance because people were still fucking livid. Even part of Jess' entrance, which bugged me because that match was also super fun, super competitive, and it didn't outstay its welcome. They would just banging, and it was fucking great. So I liked it. I liked the fact that he hit the muscle buster. Little controller issues when he stood him up, but what are you gonna do? And he got the win, and then at the very end, Max is like, fuck you. I just hear it in his voice, just cursing at him like this little sniveling, fuck you. And Jess is like, we can go again, who? So that made me excited. Theo, what you think about the match?
Yeah, it was cool. Sexiest man in OCW.
Oh yeah,
Showed up and showed out. It was nice to see everybody gushing over him.
Yes.
And just like, it just had me. I was interested the whole time. I wanted to see that match happen at Wrestlution, and then the ending just had me laughing so hard.
Yeah, it was
great.
It was great.
They did well.
Theo, I'm sorry, not Theo. Jake, quick thoughts?
Don't disrespect me.
How dare you?
I'm kidding.
You should take that as an honor.
Well, yeah, I mean, it did. The previous segment did kind of seep into Max's entrance, although I do think that the viewers on this did get plenty of talking on like as soon as this started, people were like, oh shit, yeah, let's not forget about the Battle of Hollywood. And it was action packed from start. And it's kind of the same thing that we talked about with the Kane match and the Archer match and the Terror match. All the non-title matches delivered in such a competitive, fun way, and they did not overstay their welcome. The worst parts of some of the other feds are these 30-minute double resilled garbage matches that nobody wants to watch for that long. And we didn't have that. Like our champs don't even have Brazil at this point. And then the single matches that have had such great builds, the players I think benefited from watching this the most, because when you see certain things happen as somebody who competes regularly, you can appreciate them a little bit more. And this had it in spades. And that the organic spot to set up for the muscle buster that it's a tough finisher to pull off, and it was such an organic way that he did it. I yelled it to you after the match happened, while the match was happening. Jay, you can hear us on commentary when he gets in the corner. You're not really sure what's happening. And I'm like, oh God, no! He's setting up for the muscle buster, because I popped so huge for that, both the first time we watched it on commentary and the second time in the viewing party. It was a blast.
I enjoyed that match, and I'm so glad that we got to see it, basically, because that's one of the dream matches that I wanted to book, and that was in the cards for like, I don't know, forever. That's been in the cards for like almost a damn year. I thought we were gonna have Mad Mike versus Jest, and then I was told no, it's okay. I was like, oh shit, well hell yeah, yeah, we can do that, definitely. So I'm very thankful we got to see that match, and I'm so happy for Jest and Maxi Pad. Did a Davy Jones entrance hopefully doesn't get us killed on the media stuff. Not a super fan of just entrance and then the RP on the show, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. This is actually how you get a good reaction, honestly, because the reaction from the Discord was pretty significant. The only thing I will say is that I heard people were talking about like they already knew what it was, so that means motherfuckers are talking. Please don't do that. Stop talking. I heard someone say, oh, is this a Davy Jones thing? And I was like, whatever. But yeah, it looks like Bax immediately is hitting the ground running, so I'm happy to see where this goes with the Davy Jones moniker or whatever. Any thoughts, Theo? Anything?
I gotta go look at the show and read the RP that goes with it. I mean, the look is cool.
Yeah.
That had me interested to like check it out. That's about all I got.
Jake, anything to add? Just like yay or nay, right?
No, I mean, he changed his name to Davy Jones in the Discord, so I kind of figured what was happening as soon as the pirate ship showed up. But this is an interesting twist, and while I did like the old character, I'm blanking on the name right now.
Chris Baxter.
Webster.
Daryl
Webster.
Dynamite Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Dane Xavier's back. Baxter's back. Like it's a renaissance. And this is
Old
an
people.
interesting twist. It's not relying on being an old name. It's actually evolving the character and doing some good stuff. So looking forward to it as long as they stay active.
That's the kicker. So women's title hype video, loved it. I listened to that stupid song a million times. Watched the video a couple dozen times. I love Empress. That's all I really have to add about that. It's a great That's a great video. And hopefully we can get some mileage out of it. Hopefully some more people see it on the web show and everything because it was great. Put me on my misery. So the women's match, pretty much it did what it had to. I loved it. It was a great match. The Cookie Army took me out. I don't think you heard it on Discord because everyone was making noises too. But the Cookie Army destroyed me. I can't. She came out with a gingerbread cookie army and then proceeded to have the biggest fight in the goddamn the biggest, like, I don't know, just knockout drag out affair with the Hurricane Holly Hunter. And it set out what it had to do. They went to the top of the cage, no one overstayed their welcome, and then someone went through the bottom of the cage and didn't go back up the cage like other people tend to do throughout the goddamn years. I think this is the only Hell in a Cell in our 16-year history that went the proper way. Someone goes up, someone goes down, and it's done. So congratulations to Holly Hunter and once again Empress or Emp for being amazing. That's basically all I had to say. As someone who's been in the match, Nate, what did you think?
Like watching it back, I enjoyed it more than playing it. Like me and Emp both, like we like having our matches against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it's frustrating, like being on the outside of the ring and you can only like do a punch or do a couple things like outside of the ring. So like the cell itself is a little limiting when you're not on top or in the ring.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like we were both just like, we're gonna fight. We end up outside. We'll go up, and if we're going, we're not gonna drag it out. Somebody's gonna die, and that's gonna be the match.
Yeah, Empress just said that she tried to pin right after and the game wouldn't let her, so she taunted it until it did. That's a professional. Mm-hmm. That's a goddamn professional, especially checking her blood pressure before she got the pin because it was a heart-pounding experience. Jake, toss into you real quick.
Yeah, the video.
While you're arguing,
just like I said, I'm not arguing. The video, just like I said, for night one with the CCW match, is something that I feel didn't get as much appreciation, and it might be just coming from my perspective as somebody who makes my own. So seeing theirs is just like, oh, this is great. So please go back and watch Empress's with Holly if you can. The cell is usually kind of dumbed down from a video game standpoint, and the worst thing you can do in the cell is overstay your welcome, 4 spots, be just so ridiculously fake about it and plan things. And that didn't happen here. The spot where Holly flew out of the ring was natural because Holly could have knocked her into the cage if nobody's done a Hell in a Cell match before. If she hits that spear, Empress flies into the cage and it's a cool spot. So I know why that would have happened naturally. Missed, and then it actually turned into they're going up here for an actual reason. They didn't go through the cage and then go back outside and throw them off the cell and then go back inside and then go back outside and do through a table. Like, you didn't just plan all these artificial things. It was natural. One thing happened, boom, you went through the cell, you're fucking dead, and you were down. And it was a perfect segue from what we had just seen into what we were going to see.
Yes, which is we spoke about it, but we'll oh wait, before that, KD's coming back. So funny thing,
love KD.
The reason that the show took so long was because I mentioned earlier, but a lot of personal bullshit. But I went to go update the end credits, and since my computer crashed, earlier in the year, I had to go retrieve it from the cloud, which I did, and I noticed that there was some discrepancies. So I thought on the thing everything looked normal, but then I guess when I did it, it didn't. So I didn't get a chance to re-render it. Blah 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 blah. Bullshit aside, I had to add a bunch of names and make sure I didn't skip anybody. So when I was 100% done, and ready to render, I noticed I left out Cave, so I had to go back and put him in. So I had to make sure I put Cobra in because it would have been Cobra's the only person that wasn't on the credits at all. So I went and added Cobra and I moved Asher all the way down to the bottom because I wasn't gonna redo the whole thing. But shut up, Cobra. So I rendered it and I rendered it basically. I started at around maybe 9 o'clock. I didn't finish it till about 12:30, and it wasn't done rendering until like maybe 1:30. And then I tried to re-render it in time, couldn't. Bunch of other bullshit, so that's why the show was late. That being said, it brings me to KD. I wanted to do, and we're gonna wrap this up really quick. I wanted Insane Darren to come out and be like, "Hey, didn't you forget about me?" And then KD shows up and sissies him, but didn't have time, so we just got that, and I'm still happy because I like KD. So that's why.
Been fun.
Time constrictions. It stinks.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Any thoughts on KD's return? I'm happy. That's all I really have. Everyone here was cheering, so that's a good thing.
Glad to see him back.
Glad to have. Yep, exactly. That's all I got. Glad to have KD back.
I want him to be on PS4, so that I want KD to team up with Russ so they can beat up on PS4 DMs and make everybody sad. Because that's like Russ's new thing now, is complaining about PS4 DM people, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of amazing. So wrapping it up, we took it to the courts. Nate package, which was really well done and kind of pissed me off because motherfuckers kept talking over it. It's like, yo, shut up. I don't know what. I guess people were happy from KD coming back or whatever. I don't know what it was, but yeah, people were just running their mouth for that video, and it kind of cheesed my grits. Well done as always. Got to work on the thumbnails. But what are you gonna do? The main event, we spoke about the main event, but we'll touch on it this. How do you feel? I'll just end with this. How do you guys feel about, not getting the one-on-one? You can start with Jake.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the video part, I get it. If I usually compare it to if you were in a big room with 23 other people and a video hype package was playing for like a WWE pay-per-view. They're not just gonna sit there and watch it. You know what I mean? It is different because I put it together and I want people to watch it and like give me their thoughts on it. But they're there to watch a wrestling show, and that's what they're doing. It's just it's a hype package. It's kind of obligatory at this point. I thought it was really good, and hopefully people that go watch the web show back appreciate it for building up the match. All of the pomp and circumstance, I think, was like 10 minutes and 30 seconds before the bell rang, and then that's not even counting Cass. I said it at the beginning. It's his right as the future investment. As soon as I found out he won, I knew that was going to be his thing because he's been saying it since the day he was announced in the future investment. He said he was going to do it.
He'd been saying it before.
Before he was even announced. Before we announced him, he assumed he was going to be in it, and he said he was going to be in it. And he won. That's his right. I wish we had a certified conclusion to Nate Quartz 2, but Nate had a brilliant idea, and that stare down at the end, that was all him. I did put it together, but that was his idea. So props to you, Nate. That gives us a lot to work with in the future. I don't plan on stepping near you anywhere in the near future because year. You're a scumbag, but eventually it will happen, and when it does, hopefully it'll be without Cass interference.
Theo, closing thoughts on having a 3-way instead of a one-on-one?
Well, I wanted the one-on-one, obviously, but I knew if Cass won, that's what was going to happen, and we knew that was a possibility, and it wasn't like Jake and I were rushing to be like, let's get the match done early so he can't cash in on us if he does win. It was just...
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it just worked out how it did, and it played out. Like, all, like, the hype video, the entrances and everything, it set up for what would have been, if Cass wasn't involved, another organic story. Like, we just happened to get booked against each other for that Turmoil match. It went how it went. Jake had the brilliant idea, like, to have it end the way it did, and he had I climbed I defeated Mount Ortiz or whatever jacket, and we've been yapping at each other for months, and all the dominoes fell in place for that. So, yeah, I would have liked to have had a one-on-one, but it worked out good, and I mean, the match itself was as clean as you're gonna get. Like, no complaints there. But coming back because of Nate probably wouldn't even be back if it wasn't for COVID and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, the run's not over yet, but the character's almost done. So I don't know if this might have been the last solution you see in that.
That's depressing, but I guess we'll see. But shout out to y'all for being, because certain other people would be like, no, it's my man. You can't take away my man. So I appreciate you guys being upstanding professionals, because a lot of motherfuckers like to be cheese dicks. Not naming any names, but that's gonna do it with us because NXT's coming up soon, and we actually finished in proper time. Look at that. See, I knew we could do it. So yeah. So thank you for watching. Can't really take any questions because we're short for time, but I want to thank everybody for watching with us. We had record-breaking numbers. Well, it starts at 7 casts. We had really good numbers for most people. We had amazing numbers for this event. It was actually did not expect that. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for the engagement, and I'm very thankful for all the new followers, subs, and everything else in between. Again, we are PvP. Today and yesterday proved that when it comes to player versus players, we are the benchmark. We are the cleanest, other than me, because I'm bad. We are the best. We are the coolest, and that, my friends, is just sensational. Look how I just did that out of nowhere. Thank you so much, man. We're taking probably maybe a week break, or probably 2-week break. I haven't decided, but more likely a 2-week break. There's supposed to be a scum show at the end of next week, but I haven't heard anything, so who the hell knows? I guess we'll see it when we see it. There's some stuff in plan while I'm on break. Some, fun stuff like maybe a draft, or maybe the what the hell was the other one? The draft or the tier list, maybe a Lucian tier list, up to Lucian tier list. So we'll see what's up. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you next time, whenever the hell that is. Later.